Hey there, it's Alan. I know people are always curious to find out, what do you get with Kadima? Well, you get lots. So I'm going to share with you now and tell you what the experience will be like for the next 6 months when you're working with Kadima. As a reminder, this is what you get with KCAP. You get lifetime access to our video library. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if for any reason you're unhappy within 30 days, we ask you 2 questions. Why do you want your money back? And what can we do better? And we'll give you your money back. No one's had to do that, but we do offer that option. You get the private LinkedIn community, you get the scripts, templates, all this stuff here. I'm going to go over that in depth. We get guest speakers, private jam sessions, narrative feedback. Oh, one thing I want to call out here in the orange, we will work on your resume refresh with you. We will work on your narrative refresh with you. We will work on the LinkedIn profile with you. So those 3 things, if you pay in full, you get those things. So I will first teach everybody how to do that. But if you need some extra help, you need some extra support, I will set you up either with myself or a dedicated coach that will do that for you. And also for the pay in full opportunity, you get a better job guarantee, which means if within 6 months you do not get a better job, you can either ask for your money back or you can work with us indefinitely until you get that job. Everything else comes with the other 2 payment options, but those last 4 come with people that are pay all up front. So that's what you get. Let me talk a little bit more in depth about this stuff. You get the job acquisition method. There are 8 modules within this course. They are broken down into the growth framework. The first one is an introduction. I share a little bit more about the growth framework. Then we go in depth about the goals. Third module, third stop is realistically assessing your strength. Stop 4 is outreach, how to have effective informational interviews. Step 5 is working the system. You can read on the screen. Important, there are 8 modules here. There's lots of hours of video, about 10 hours. There's worksheets, scripts, info sheets, templates. There are also surveys at the end, at the start of the course, the JAM, the job acquisition method, and at the end of every module. Please, please, please fill that out. I read that, I look at that, and that gives me some insight on how you're doing and how I can help better coach you. Also, you'll see when you log into our course, you will see the time for the office hours, you will see the coaching sessions, you will see the community. You have access to that. I think the office hours on here are incorrect. We've updated that in terms of the link there. Don't worry about that, but you will see that on the portal of the office hours, how to book coaching sessions, and how to join the community. So that is all immediately accessible to you as soon as you join Kadima. So next up, introducing your KAT, your Kadima Accountability Tracker. So in the course, you will get access to your Kadima Accountability Tracker. This is a spreadsheet that we created for you to track your target list companies, the relationships, your applications, your star stories, and we talked to you about in the course how to handle this, and also career accomplishment, which will help lead to your resume creation and your star stories. So that is, you will get this Kadima Accountability Tracker. And then it is really important as you follow the program to think about the metrics that we track, and the KAT will allow you to do that, and our weekly office hours, which I'll talk about soon, will reinforce that. But think about 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 1. You should be getting at least 40 target companies, and we do provide a starter list here. This is free for anybody, whether they're in Kadima or not, but our top 100 list, you do not need to select from that top 100 list, but in case you're struggling to find at least 40 companies to target, we gave you a great list of companies that pay well, treat people well, are hiring a lot, care about diversity, and have good brand name recognition, which will accelerate your career. So you get those 40 target companies. You should be having 30 reach outs per week. They could be to close ties, weak ties, new connections, but aim for about 3/4 of them at your target companies. Over the course of the program, and I'll show you a little bit more in depth, you will build out 20 star stories. If you don't know what star stories are, you will find out about them, but they are essentially behavioral based responses to, tell me about a time when you had to deliver a project under a tight deadline. Well, the situation was we were launching our holiday shopping initiative at Amazon. The task was I needed to create this site and this offer and this promotion. The actions I took was I created a team meeting, I created guidelines, I created project plan, and then I ensured that everybody was on the same page and working towards a goal. And the results were we launched on time, we increased sales by $42 million, and I got kudos from my boss. So you're going to be creating 20 of those star stories that you can use interchangeably for lots of different questions that come your way during the interview process. That's just 20 star stories. You need to create those over the course of the program, and you can use that in all of your interviews that will be coming your way. Next up, 10 applications per week. It's really hard to get a job if you don't apply. So you apply for jobs ideally at your target companies, but you can supplement that with other methods as well, which we'll teach you about. You need to aim for 5 informational interviews per week. And these informationals are not to get a job, but to get advice, build rapport, and earn referrals. Don't ask for referrals. And then 1 office hour per week. I generally recommend everybody stops into one of our group coaching sessions. I call them office hours, but definitely come to 2 a month. These office hours come twice a week. So there's 8 in a month at least. Come to at least 2 of them. And then with this KITT, just a reminder, be sure to give me edit and comment access so that you and I can collaborate on that while we are not seeing each other in our group sessions or our one-on-one sessions. Next up, office hours. These happen Tuesdays, 5 to 6 Eastern time, and Thursdays, 10 to 11. We do record them, but I highly encourage people to show up. And we fill out a weekly KITT. I should probably call it something else, but we will ask you these series of questions every week. Your name, the date, how many outreaches you sent since the last KCAP, how many informationals you completed, the number of interviews completed, upcoming, how many applications did you submit since last week? So we want that number to be at least 10. How many of those apps were referral? So you can read, but what else you did and questions you have on your mind. And those questions that you submit there are the lion's share of what we talk about during these office hours. But we also can review people's resumes, talking points, narratives, whatever. But those are office hours that occur twice per week. They're generally hosted by me. Sometimes I bring in a guest speaker from Amazon or from Google or other companies like that are trained in the growth method and lead it for me if I have a conflict, or I also like to give a little diversity of opinions and perspectives. And sometimes we bring guests in there as well. Then you are going to have one-on-one sessions with me. As soon as you join, we will set you up with an onboarding session, and we will extend that to 45 minutes. Most of these sessions are 30 minutes, and that's more than enough. But the onboarding, spend a little bit more time. We make that 45 minutes. And then after those sessions occur, I always suggest you get your next one on the books. My calendar has availability for 11 weeks. Get something on the books. You can always reschedule if you need to. At least give me 48 hours notice, ideally, before you cancel or reschedule. That helps me. We will use a shared document. Everyone will have one of these. It will have your name, cell phone, my cell phone information, all that information. This will be the intake. And then each week, each time that we meet, we will use this document to communicate and collaborate with one another. So you'll get access to that. Potential topics to discuss at these one-on-one sessions. Here's a list of some items, but really it's open for anything that's on your mind. So right fitting you for the job, to play to your strengths. You can read. I trust you. So those are the one-on-one sessions with me. Then you get access to our private LinkedIn group. We have a private group. It's called Kadima Careers Acceleration. Everybody in KCAP, which is a one-on-one coaching with me, and anybody who is taking the course has access to this. And the reason why we make this access more open is to increase the network and the community for you. So I also have some Fockers in there, friends of Kadima, so that you'll find some other people, some employees of Kadima, some coaches that I particularly like and appreciate and have been supporters of Kadima. They're in the group as well. So it's a great opportunity to connect with people and build relationships. So the group looks like this. Recently, I just posted some opportunities that I got a data dog to share with people. Mostly I'm posting in here, but I highly encourage other people to post in here as well. So it's a great opportunity for people to post, and you can see all the members. We have 63 members now, which is growing day by day. Next up, email support. So anything that doesn't occur during office hours or one-on-one sessions with me, you can email me. And the email is given once you're in the course. I'm not sharing that here because we share this more broadly, but there's an email that is monitored essentially 24/7. I will probably respond to 90% of those questions very quickly, but I also have a staff of folks also monitoring that for some quick responses. If you don't hear from us within 24 hours, just bump it because it got lost somewhere. We're working on better automation there, but everyone who's in Kadima will vouch for our quick responsiveness. I don't like getting texts for lots of reasons, but if something is urgent, you will have my cell number and you can text me. But please, please, please use email. unless it is really, really urgent and time sensitive. And most things in recruiting and the job search honestly do not move as quickly and urgently as you would like. Then this is awesome. This is, as far as I know, unprecedented in the whole career acceleration space. We have lots of real recorded interviews. I have a bank of interviews here. You will have access to these. I will not give them to you unfettered, but when you are interviewing for companies and roles, I will give access to you to those so that you can listen to real interviews. So at let's say Adobe here, let's just click on this. You will see entire interviews and you will hear my whole interview. Let's just go here. So anyway, you have access to these interviews. We have 117, and we also have broken them down into individual questions as well. So you can look at a series of questions. They will look like this. So we have all these interview questions broken down so you can find out what real quality interviews look like, assuming that mine are quality. I got offers for some. I didn't get offers for others, but I made the final round of most of them. We also have secretly recorded Amazon interviews that I do not share outside the walls of Kadima. Soup to nuts, from the beginning to the end. When I interviewed at Amazon, when I got the offer, I recorded everything, and you will have access to that. That's on an as-needed basis. So once you are getting interviews with Amazon, I do give you access to that. If you're not interviewing at Amazon, you don't have something lined up, you don't need access to that. But for everybody, there is an awesome podcast that we recorded, and this is available to anybody. This is one of our coaches that we have in here, Sick Tricks to Landing a Job at Amazon. He is a former Amazon bar raiser. You can check this episode out. It is actually our most listened to episode that we have ever produced on the Sick podcast. So check that out. Also, I encourage people when they go through their interviews to record their interviews on their phone, just like I did to create my interview database. If you want me to review a single question or so, and you're like, hey, Alan, I'm struggling at the 18-minute mark here, listen to my question, I will do that. If you want me to break down the whole interview, I will do that, but we will use those interviews to add to our interview database. We will get your permission ahead of time, and we will block out PII, personal identifiable information. So your information is not there, the interviewer's information is not there, and you will have final sign off on that. But we do provide very specific interview feedback as needed. Next up, introductions to my network. I love this part. So I will make introductions, but do not ask me for an intro for a job you just submitted unless I know the hiring manager or recruiter. I'll encourage you to first fish for yourself. It will work so much better. We teach you how to do that. That will work more effectively. If I do agree to make a connection, this is called a double blind opt-in. So I will ask the other person if they're cool with the introduction. You obviously are cool with that introduction because you asked me to make that introduction, but both people have the option to opt in. And then if I get approval, I will ask you to write a quick blurb that I can lift and shift and send to that contact. And something like this, you can basically use this script of sending it over so it makes my life easier. I can get you in front of the right person quickly, and you reduce friction. Yeah, make sure you spell check for grammar, because I'm not going to be looking as carefully. So you better do that so you don't make yourself look like a dumbass. And when in doubt, if you're thinking about an introduction, you can always ask me. Most of the time I say yes, but most of the time I'll say, hey, did you first go through the process of doing this yourself? But if I have the opportunity to help you land a job, no doubt I'm going to help you land that job. Offer negotiations. You can check out our cheat sheet, which is in the course. You can also download it from our website, but there's some information here on just high-level strategies on negotiation. But if you have any questions about negotiation, this part, once you get the job, we don't want you to fuck up how much money you get. So it's very high leverage. It's very important that we negotiate effectively for you so that we get as much money as we can. So once you get the verbal offer, you'll let me know. I usually will know ahead of time because you're telling me you're progressing from the recruiter screen to the hiring manager, the loops, and then the offer usually comes or can come. You'll let me know. And we call this KONG because I love acronyms, the Kadima Offer Negotiation Game Plan. And you and I will talk. We might get on a phone call. We might have multiple back and forths. We will talk strategy and figure out how to get you more money. And there's a module specifically about this in the job acquisition method. It's module 7 about negotiations. But the most important thing that you need to know is deflect any conversation about compensation with recruiters. We teach you how to do that. Do not cut your knees out from under you. That will make it a lot harder for me to help you. So We also provide milestones of what to expect each week. So this is just like a snapshot, but we provide a sheet basically of where you should be at each week of the 26 weeks. And 6 months is 26 weeks. So this shows where you should be with the online course. The target companies reach out is pretty self-explanatory. The star stories, the LinkedIn profiles, resumes, where you should be each week to make sure that you're on track. And by the 7th week, you should be done with the online course. And by the 4th week, you should be having 5 informationals a week. So this shows you what you should be doing, where you should be pacing, and good general guideline of how you should be progressing in the Kadima Career Accelerator Program, KCAP. If you do that, this is what will occur with your calendar. And this is why we're saying that you should dedicate 10 hours per week to your career. First off, there's a shit ton of arrows and colors here, but my point of showing this is this was 10 weeks after I got laid off from Facebook. I got laid off in December 15th of January 2019, and this is like 11 weeks later or so. I had 23 meetings set up. I had 7 interviews, 4 opportunities, 2 non-traditional options. I was pursuing some other things. And the way I source these is through friends, alumni, friend intros, family intros, former colleagues, cold outreach, headhunters, referrals. You will be getting those as well. And that will fill up your calendar. It will lead to lots of conversations. And when you have those conversations, when you get to speak to human beings, what's going to happen is you are going to get the job. Here's a snapshot of some recent people that landed jobs, prior company, current company, their offer, and how much more they made and how quickly they made it. So these are real results. If you work the system will work for you. FAQs. Let me go over these fairly quickly. 1, what if I get a job sooner than 6 months? Mazel tov. We will transfer you to K90, our first 90-day program of how to hit the ground running and making sure you're set up for success. No extra charge. We just transition you into that. What if I don't get a job in 6 months? You can continue. If you paid in full, you have that better job guarantee, where you can ask for your money back or you can work with us indefinitely until you get a job. If you're on one of our monthly plans or one of our other payment plans, you can continue working with us in the group sessions. You get lifetime access to the course. We will help you negotiate for your next offer that you get. It's included. So we will work with you until you get it, that job. But we will not give you additional coaching sessions. You have those 6 coaching sessions with me. You get the 1 onboarding and 5 others. You don't get additional, but you can buy additional at a discounted price if you're interested. What if I don't have time? Well, if you don't have time coming into this, do not join. But if you come into the program and you start to get swamped, we will talk about prioritizing your time and how to allocate the right time. If something comes up, like a death in the family or some other lifestyle thing, and you need to either pause or drop out, we will work with you with that. I'm not here to screw you over. We've paused people's program when they've had to deal with some difficult shit on the home front, and then they've restarted, and we will work that out. But you need to assume that you are going to dedicate about 10 hours per week to your proactive career search. What if I'm not making any progress? That's why I ask for all the feedback. That's why I give you all these tools. So I will probably identify that sooner than you will. So we will intervene and we'll figure out, is it you're not getting to talk to human beings? Is it you're talking to human beings like the recruiter screen and not getting onto the hiring manager? So we will diagnose what's going on with your particular situation. We will intervene and we will course correct. What about all these layoffs? Yeah, layoffs suck. The economy goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. There's nothing you can do about that. You put your blinders on and you go straight ahead. If the economy goes down, you are at risk in your current role. So it still behooves you to be looking around. If the economy goes up, great. More opportunity for you. So regardless of the layoffs, you should ABL, always be looking, and there are opportunities out there. I showed you a lot of success stories from our team, and you got to just put blinders on. You can't control that. What you can control are your 40 target companies, your 30 reach outs, your 20 star stories, having them in a good state, your 10 applications per week, your 5 informationals. For the most part, you can control that. Sometimes it's hard to nail people's calendar down, but you should be able to control that, and coming to those office hours. So you control the controllables. What if my friend or partner wants to join Kadima? Awesome. We love referrals. We give you referral bonuses. Let me know if you have somebody in mind that wants to join Kadima. We will give discounts to you and to the person that joins. What's the best way to reach me? I have my email behind that censored thing. Well, most people can find my email online. You can look on LinkedIn to find me. But the email that is best used for KCAP is behind that censored thing. You will have access to that once you join the program. And that's it. So that is what you will get with KCAP. It's a lot of stuff. It's proven to work. Right now, we are getting people jobs in 114 days with $109,000 more. If you work the system will work for you. You own your career. We accelerate it. Welcome to Kadima.